be safe. We love you. We want you. We want you to come. We want to, and we will, when you get here, welcome you in open arms. And we love having you guys come work with us. Just remember that your safety also always has to be a priority, because what they're doing and right now, they're not messing around, like bad stuff is happening. And I would hate to see, because at the end of the day, like by this point, the main divas, they are our community. We're all a community now. And I feel like I would hate to see anyone in our community, be put in such a dangerous position, So just remember, yes, we love you. We want you. Also be safe.
Top topics. Cool people. You're listening to The Will of the Hunted.
Welcome back to The Will of the Hunted. My name is AJ Nichols, and I started this show to reclaim my story and a sense of control over my life as a trafficking survivor. And this season, I want to have even more exciting conversations and get to know other people's stories as well. So today, we are talking with a talented drag performer from New Brunswick, Canada, who was recently nominated for Trans Visionary at the Region's Drag Awards. She came on last season and talked about how drag saved her life and gave other queens advice for coming up in the scene and finding success. Today, I want to ask her more about trans visibility in drag spaces and get her thoughts on some new legislation being passed that could put drag bars out of business here in the US. Please welcome my friend, Skai. Hey, Skai.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me back. It's giving All-Stars. My All-Stars comeback, got the filler. Not really, but...
The All-Stars, what do they call it? The All-Stars look when they come back?
Yes.
And this is our All-Stars look, too. We have a better set. We have real microphone stands and stuff, and I have hiking sticks because I'm hiking.
Fierce. I love that.
Thank you. Got a surf camp.
Exactly.
So I really have to ask you about the Drag Awards. Could you tell me what that event is and like what was it like being nominated for Trans Visionary?
So the New Brunswick Drag Awards was kind of a first ever thing we've ever had here, where it was like kind of what it sounds like. It's an award show where we were all kind of nominated for different awards. It was put on by Dahlia Dior, who worked insanely hard on this. So big shout out to her, first of all. She'll be watching this. I talked to her already about it. So yes.
Hi.
Hi. Huge shout out to her. I know she really worked hard on it. And as for being nominated for Trans Visionary, it was honestly it made me feel good about myself, because it was like, my mindset was, when I was like younger, like even 10 years ago, I never thought there would be a reality where I would even like be out as trans. So to be nominated for an award about being trans was like, that's really cool, like just to like have that kind of pathway of like, you can look back and see how far you've come. That's a big part of this award as well. So it was fun.
Do you know who nominated you or what the criteria was to be nominated?
I believe the criteria was once every 24 hours, you could put in a name for like each category who you felt was fitting for it. So I guess I just got enough nominations for this one.
All right.
Thank you.
Have you done a lot of like public speaking or kind of like just even just like representation, like being very public at the bars that you work at or the clubs?
Here's the thing. This is partly why I actually was kind of happy I didn't win the award. I absolutely have spoken, obviously, because I am a believer that, drag is political. And if you're going to do drag, then it's very important that you speak on these issues. So I have spoken at gigs before, and I've definitely I've attended countless rallies. My thing, though, is and a big resolution of mine is to speak even more. And I feel like the person who won the award, huge shout out to BZ Magic. I could not think of a more fitting person for the award. And while she was doing her speech, I was thinking even had I won the award, it wouldn't have felt right, because I felt like she really fights for the trans community in New Brunswick, in Maine, and everywhere. And this was the perfect award for her. So I'm really happy for her.
So is she a queen who's like come up in that scene and has also been very vocal about her transition?
Very vocal, yes. Yeah, she's always using her platform at gigs or at rallies or at events to speak about all social issues, not just trans issues, but and I think that it's really important that her activism and her work was rewarded, and I'm really glad it was.
That's cool.
Hmm.
Have you noticed a lot more queens come out and be willing to be visible because of people like you and her?
Hope, like, yeah, I mean, queens definitely have come out, and I definitely have noticed that, like, more trans people have been starting doing drag in general. Like, I feel like a lot of the people who have been joining our community recently are somewhere under the trans umbrella. And I love that. I think that's so important, because I feel like there's no such thing as too much trans representation, like,
Yeah.
especially where I feel like for a lot of people, or at least a lot of younger people, um, our only plug to drag for a while was Drag Race. And where Drag Race did go, let's be real, they went a long time without casting any trans people. So a lot of people didn't even know that they could do drag in the first place because that was all they had to reference drag. So I
Yeah.
think that, just seeing so many more trans people, throw their hat in the ring and do what makes them happy and celebrate their transness through drag is really beautiful.
I totally agree. And I loved talking with you last season about all of the queens who have come out and how much that platform has changed and changed the tone for acceptance of trans performers, and that's just a normal thing. And then people like Gottmik and even having like
Yes.
trans men come on and like just opening the gates for everyone. So
Absolutely. Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
So could I ask how your transition is going and what that looks like in your drag career right now?
It's going good. I mean, yeah, I'm very happy with where I'm at. I used to put a lot of pressure on myself when it came to my transness, like presenting myself a certain way, making sure that, I like was conforming to society the way that, I feel like a lot of cis het people put a certain expectation on trans people. And if you're not meeting that expectation, then you're not, you know, valid.
Mm,
And I used to conform to that a lot and feel that pressure. But I think as I get older, I realize that they're not trans. They're not, they don't live this experience. It's not their story. It's my story. And I should be able to, express myself and present myself however I want. And I think that it all ties into like, I could go on like tangent for days about this. It ties into like the whole like passing mentality and just like all of it. And yeah, and I just don't really have time for that anymore. Just like stressing out over what people who don't even have my best interest in mind think about my transition.
exactly. And like everyone's transition journey is different, and
Hmm.
but everything, like everyone's journey is valid, and like you don't have to look a certain way or like have a certain surgery to you know pass, or like you know what I mean. It's just like you are who you are, and
Exactly.
I'm glad that you're kind of not letting that pressure affect you as much.
Exactly.
So something that you mentioned is that like another, I don't know if it was a New Year's resolution or just like something that you've been working on, is you were excited to talk about your 1 year sobriety anniversary.
Yes. Oh my
So
gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I technically am not 1 year sober, like as we're filming this, but by the time it airs, I will be 1 year sober. My sobriety date is March 3rd.
congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I was in a very dark place in kind of late 2024, early 2025, where that was all like substances was all kind of I could turn to and rely on. And um, I never thought I actually would get 1 year sober. Like even when I started my journey, like I remember thinking like, yeah, this is only going to last like 3 days at most. And
Yeah,
it didn't. It's lasted so long, and I'm really, really happy about that. I feel like I like kind of know where I am more. I feel like I can think straight better. I feel happier. I feel healthier, and I feel like I'm gonna live past 25. Like I feel like I'm gonna make a little more of my life than how I saw my life going. You know, I mean, while I was going through that.
Yeah.
And I think that just like my advice for anyone who wants to get sober is what I would say, I guess, more is that, in my opinion, the first day will always be the hardest day.
Yeah.
Once you get that first day out of the way, there will be hard days, 100%. And there will be some really good days too. But in my opinion, nothing will be as hard as the first day. And I think that's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have you gotten a lot of support from your sisters?
Yes, a lot of them have been very supportive, and like, especially like my best friend Vanessa. I know she's gonna be watching this. She
Shout
like
out.
makes shout out to Vanessa. She makes sure that like if anyone is even like in close proximity of me, like she like stands in my way, or like makes sure that like no one is getting to me with any type of substance. So I really appreciate that from her.
Yeah.
And my family as well has been very supportive, and that's nice.
Has that been challenging in like clubs and different like bars and spaces? Where,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I often have to kind of give myself a pep talk in the mirror before, just saying like, you're a human, you own your body, you own your brain, you have the power to say no. You're going to use that power to say no, like, and I've never failed me yet. So, I mean, I'm saying no and I'm happy with that.
did you do like a lipstick mirror message like goodbye substances XOXO
I
Sky?
should have. I honestly think I was having too much of like a quarter life crisis when I went sober to even think of doing that. Um, but I should have done that. Oh my God.
I'm really proud of you, and I'm glad that your sobriety is like really helping you be happier and think more
Thank
clearly and
you.
stuff like you were talking about. So
I appreciate that.
earlier this week, we had new legislation for drag bans here in the US, specifically in Tennessee, who want to classify drag shows as adult performance, which would put new restrictions and legal trouble on those bars. You mentioned in your first episode that you have seen and experienced protests against drag in New Brunswick, but are there any similar like laws or bans happening up there?
Thankfully, no. There are no laws or bans against drag or trying to be pushed against drag in New Brunswick, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but as far as I know, we're very privileged that we don't have that. And that's why a lot of, queens from Maine have been performing here recently, because it's kind of a safe haven for them to come to. And that's why, if you're a Maine
Yeah.
drag performer watching this, you're definitely welcome in New Brunswick. We love having all the Maine divas come perform. And I will say as well, like with drag in New Brunswick, I will know that even if there aren't bands pushing against it, there absolutely still are protesters. Like the protester thing is still an issue. I haven't seen it as much. I mean, actually, I no, because like with the drag awards, even there were people commenting under it on Facebook saying these like very vile, nasty things, like saying things like it's gonna be like, I think one of the comments I read was, oh, like pedophile con or something like that. And I'm just like, why would you say that? Like that's not even remotely the case. You know what I mean? Like, and I remember someone else was like saying like, another comment I saw was this guy commenting, and one of our queens replied saying, "Oh, what are you going to wear to the event?" Kind of like teasing him, and he replies with, "Oh, I'm going to pull up with my AK-47 or something like that." And I'm just like,
Huh?
hello, hello, what? Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy. And it makes you think that those are very violent things to be saying. And I'm like, well, it's not drag queens making those or drag performers making those violent threats. It's them. You know what I mean? And I think that ties into your kind of question about like the Tennessee bands and the US bands, as well, is that like us drag performers, we just want to live our lives. We're just, leave us alone. Like, it's really not that serious. You take your children to Hooters. Like, hello, that is 10 times more inappropriate than taking your children to a drag show, in my personal opinion. No shade to them at all. Maybe I should have worded that better, but it does get very hypocritical. And
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you talked about how Maine queens have seen New Brunswick as a safe haven with all of the anti-drag everything happening down here. What is it like as a Canadian queen seeing that happen just south of the border? And are you afraid of that happening up in Canada as well?
It's scary. I mean, like, yeah, like you watch people you firsthand know. And like, obviously, I have my online friends as well who live in the States and they're also being affected by it. So, like, when you see them and like the main divas, like, kind of really going through that, it makes you think a few things. It makes you feel grateful that, thankfully that's not happening here as of now. But it also makes you worried that, yeah, maybe one day it would happen. And that's absolutely a scary feeling. And like we were talking off camera, like about how at the awards show, one of the queens from Maine did a little speech and she explained how like scary it is, like driving to and from New Brunswick to Maine and how like they asked them questions about drag at the border. And I'm like, that's horrifying. Like that's so scary. And listening to her speech, like Seren Trinity is her name. Shout out to her. It gave me like chills. I was like, oh my God, like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's have you ever heard of anyone like kind of getting detained or getting like pulled aside at the border for those questions, or is it kind of like just in the car, like they see the tutu and they're like, what is that?
As far as I know, it's mainly just in the car. I don't know a lot because I haven't had many opportunities to work with the main divas. I've more like either I've seen them perform or they've seen me perform. We haven't really been booked together like that a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not too sure about that. Um, but I will say that from what I've heard from them, it is absolutely very scary.
Do you have Maine queens come to Fredericton to perform, and like do they talk about what's
Yes.
going on down here?
Oh yeah, for sure. They do. They perform here. They perform at Monarch, our local gay bar, and a few other, venues. And it's always nice when they come here. I really like it because it kind of reminds me of like those like drag race seasons where like it's like UK versus the world. It's like all the people from like the different countries come. It's literally just America and Canada, but like still, like it's kind of cool when like people from different scenes come down and we all come together like the like Power Rangers or something. Like I live, like it's fun. But no, yeah.
I love
They do come
that.
and they do talk about it. Yeah.
What are the differences that you've noticed between Maine drag and New Brunswick drag?
So I haven't gotten a lot of time to get to know them that well. What I will say is one of my sisters um told me that like from what she heard, just from what she heard, their scene has a little more drama than ours. And that's saying something because our scene is dramatic as hell. So I mean like gag if that's the case. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I heard down the rabbit hole. So don't drag me on TikTok comments again, y'all. Like, we're not doing that. It's literally just like what I heard from a friend of a friend of a friend that there is a lot of drama there,
Allegedly.
possibly, allegedly, more than we have here, which, if that's the case, would be a lot. So I'm just doing math. Um,
Well,
but
yes.
that's the main difference I've heard about us and them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know where they're performing here in Maine? Like,
That's a good question. I want to say Bangor.
okay.
I know a lot of people from Fredericton go to Bangor when they go to Maine. That's normally kind of their like main destination. I think they do Portland as well. I think those are like the two
Yeah.
main places they perform at. But like I remember like especially growing up too, like whenever like people would go to Maine, it was always we're going to Bangor. Da, 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 da. I've never been to Bangor. I'll go one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I know of at least.
Yeah, I know that at least the drag scene in Portland is huge. I haven't
Yeah.
lived in Bangor in a couple years, but they definitely
Yeah.
have a community up there too.
Yes. Love.
Love. In terms of like your drag career, let's talk about Canada's Drag Race. And you spilled to
Yes.
me that you've actually auditioned before. And what are your thoughts on that now? And what was that experience like?
So to go into more detail, my experience auditioning for it, it was fun. Like I always enjoyed auditioning for it. It's stressful. When I was younger, I always had, or at least before I got sober, I had the mindset in that era of like, I need to get on Drag Race. This is going to be my one hope. Da 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 da. And I kind of had to have a look at myself in the mirror at one point, and be like, okay, like why is it this important to get on Drag Race? Because all the years back when I first started doing drag, I never even thought the show would still be running by the time I'd be of age. So
Yeah.
I never had Drag Race in mind when I first started doing it. So I was like, why is it so serious? And why am I taking myself so seriously to get on this network? And I was thinking, I was like, there's really not a reason. Like, it's a
Yeah.
TV show. I love doing drag for fun. So now my mindset is like I said to you off screen, like I don't chase, I attract. If Drag Race is meant for me, Drag Race will come to me.
The
If it's
producers will
not,
find you.
absolutely. Wow presents Ples, Crave, Canada's Drag Race. Come on, give me that. But
Brooklyn
no,
Heights is knocking at your
Brooklyn
door.
Heights. Hey Brooke, like hello. But no, but in all seriousness, like I said, like if Drag Race is meant for me, Drag Race, it'll happen. And if it's not, then that's okay too, because this universe is huge and there are so many other cool things I can do.
Absolutely. You said something about top model. Wait, did you want to talk about that? I'm sorry.
Yes, no, I do want to talk about that. I just forgot that I even said that, which was funny because it was like 10 minutes ago. No, yeah, I'm a top model super fan. I know it's bad. I know it's the definition of a guilty pleasure. I know the show's outdated. I don't support stuff that happened on the show. I will be watching the documentary coming to Netflix this February. It is February. I think it's coming out in like 3 days. I will be watching.
Work.
So, I'm sad. And yeah, like low key, like I would go on top model. I'm not a model. I am 6'2".
You're 6'2"?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm 6'2". A lot of people don't know that. Like my online friends don't know that.
Model.
So, I had the hype for it. So like, hey, Miss Banks, I saw what you did for Winnie. She lived in Toronto, but you got her on, which, girl, I'm not putting myself on a pedestal next to Winnie Harlow, by the way. She's that girl. She is, but Skai and Winnie Harlow are not on the same level, just so we're being clear.
Yet.
Yeah. Well, yes. But what I'm saying is, she lived in Canada when she got on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day, who knows? Nah, I'm like half joking, but yeah.
She was on Canada's Drag Race as a guest judge, right?
Yes, and RuPaul's Drag Race as well. I think she's been on both franchises. Yeah.
Icon.
Yes. And I will say Winnie Harlow to me is a really good example of like, you don't need to do well on a reality show to like be successful, because a lot of people don't know this. She went home second on Top Model. Like she didn't.
Whoa.
I think she actually, okay, I think I'm part lying. She went home second. I think she came back. Like I think she did win a comeback thing, but then she went back home soon after that. So like she did not have a lot of time on the show, yet she's one of the number one supermodels out there right now. So like she's doing her big one. So that's just, I think, another lesson of like, for anyone watching this who gets on a reality show, just know that it's like not about how you place, it's what you do with it, But yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's really interesting how, like in the beginning of the first few years of the 2010s, it became the gold standard. Like for you to be a successful drag queen, you had to be on Drag Race. But then people like Trixie Mattel started breaking through and being like, you don't have to win to have a successful career. And now we have Sammy Laundry,
Corey King with the cameos. Lydia is like doing all these tours. Like, absolutely. Yeah.
Was it really exciting for you seeing Sammy perform or like be on the show as like the first New Brunswick girl?
Absolutely. It felt so exciting. It was really cool. There were 3 East Coasters on, actually 3 Maritimers. So that was really like
Ooh.
cool as well. So Maya Fox she lives in Halifax and is originally from Cape Breton, which is really cool because I have like so much family in Cape Breton. So like that was really, so like I had family watching it who had never watched it before because she was on. And
Wow.
then there's like Cara Milk, who I think now lives in Ottawa, but like was raised in Halifax and is like a Halifax girl. So seeing like, all these parts of the Maritimes represented, not just Sammy, but like those two as well. It was really cool. And I think they absolutely did us all proud.
Yes. Yeah, and Sammy is making it big, and that's really, really cool to see as well.
Absolutely. Yes, that's so cool.
What would your advice be for queens who are trying to cross the border to perform in a safe haven like New Brunswick?
Be safe. We love you. We want you. We want you to come. We want to, and we will, when you get here, welcome you in open arms. And we love having you guys come work with us. Just remember that your safety also always has to be a priority, because what they're doing and right now, they're not messing around, like bad stuff is happening. And I would hate to see, because at the end of the day, like by this point, the main divas, they are our community. We're all a community now. And I feel like I would hate to see anyone in our community, be put in such a dangerous position, So just remember, yes, we love you. We want you. Also be safe.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for sharing all of that experience that's happening up there and between like the Maine and New Brunswick communities, and just you as a trans visionary. You didn't need the award. You are.
Thank you.
And as always, really, really awesome to key with you, and you're
vice versa.
You've been a good sister for me for so many years. So
and
I
you
love
as
you
well.
so much.
I love you too. Thank you so much. My All-Stars run here was fun. Versus the World is next,
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll be back next season.
Well, yes. So yeah, thank you. And I'll have a proper microphone. I promise.
And are you, in terms of social media, is your Instagram public now?
Still private, but it's still the same handle. And we're going public soon. I promise you guys, I've been saying this for like a year. We're going to go public soon for the divas asking. Because people have been like weirdly like asking me as well, like at like gigs and stuff, when I'm going to go public. My profile photo actually has like my face on it now. So that's a change from last time you saw me. And we are going to go public. We will go public soon. I promise. Maybe by season 3, I'll be public.
All right.
Stay tuned.
What's the username for the bitches you want to request?
Skai.mac04 MAC. I will try my best to accept your request. I promise. I have like 40 bitches on request, but I will try my best to accept your request because most of them are bots. So I'll get you in. Come join the VIP club. Come join us, and I'll follow you back. Yes.
Period. Well, thank you again so much, and can't wait to have you back again next season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Love you so much. Thank you again to my amazing friend Skai. And if you are a queen crossing the border, heed her words and just make sure that you're being safe. Please stay up to date on all of the legislation and bans and everything that's happening and everything that's happening on both sides of the border. So stay aware, but know that you have a safe haven in Canada to perform. And like I say every episode, just know that you are not alone. And if you need help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources. And we will see you every Tuesday through the summer.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Skai. Love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Well, yes.
Well, yes. All right.
Always missed all of it like a conversation. Gosh, there was a lack of communication. My identity left for interpretation. Now it's time to shut